Okay, Ben Stein has quite a resume. He's an economist, a humorist, an actor, a lawyer, and an author. He's also a former game show host. We're going to throw that one in there. In today's Reaganomics, we are challenging him to a game of word association. Ben Stein, welcome. So good to see you again.
Honored to be here. Thank you.
All right. We know you've got great insights into all things economics. We're trying to cover a lot of ground here today. Yeah, you do. So let's just say, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when I say names like Bernanke?
Drug dealer.
Come on.
Pushing drugs, pushing that easy money drug down our throats even after the recovery has started. Addicted to making all Americans addicted to easy money, making Wall Street addicted to easy money, making the stock market addicted to easy money. I mean, I love it. Don't get me wrong. When I open up my account on the computer and see that it's worth more than it was the day before, I'm a happy camper. But he's a drug dealer, and someday when you come off the drug, it doesn't feel so good, and that day's going to come. That's
what you worry about. When could that day come?
I don't know when it'll come, but someday it will come. We're not going to have fixed rate, fixed price interest rates at ridiculously low rates forever. That cannot happen. There's never been a case of price fixing that was able to last for a long time, and this one won't either.
Okay, if you could tell him anything, Ben, if you could tell him something, what would it be?
I would say get us off this drug fixing of the prices as soon as you can, but in a genteel and polite way. And if Wall Street squawks about it, so what? Wall Street will squawk about something anyway.
Okay, continuing on with word association inside Ben Stein's mind, taper.
Well, I wish they would do it sooner. I'm ready to take the hit in my stock brokerage accounts. I'm ready to pay higher mortgage rates on the many houses I own. I'm ready to do it because I think it's time for the economy to get back to a market system of interest rates instead of a government fixed price system of interest rates. I mean, we have credit socialism at this point. It's never going to last. We had it only once before in American history, which was during World War II. And it led to a considerable inflation after World War II, and they had to fix it with the so-called Treasury-Fed Accord. They're going to have to do something like that this time, too. But we are a nation that needs to have the tapering start sooner rather than later.
Ben, I like this word association game with you. You're running with it. So let's shift gears here. President Obama.
Well, I'm not a fan. I mean, I hate to say that. I think he handles some things brilliantly, and frankly, I think he probably does a better job than Mr. Romney would have. I would have much rather seen Senator McCain as president. But I disapprove very much of even the remotest concept of the Department of Justice pursuing George Zimmerman in a case for allegedly violating Trayvon Martin's civil rights.
Why, Ben? Explain why.
Well, because a Florida state jury has already had a full, fair trial. It wasn't a case like the Goodman, Cheney, and Schwerner murders in Mississippi in 1964, where the Ku Klux Klan did the murders and a local all-white jury wouldn't touch them. This was a fairly drawn, ethnically mixed jury, and they acquitted this man after a lengthy trial in which the state threw everything they could at him. I really get upset when I hear about the idea that the federal government thinks they can trump state action in any area, and in this area in particular. And I think that Eric Holder is just picking a racist scab, and I'd love to see Americans get along as a racially mixed country. We are a racially mixed democracy. We have to get along with each other, not pick fights with each other.
All right, let's move back to the markets here and talk a little bit about banks.
Banks. Banks.
Yeah?
Well, I hate them, basically.
You just laugh, huh?
Yeah, well, I mean, I have a very wonderful bank. It only has about 100 clients, and for some reason, the bank tells me I write as many checks as the other 99 clients put together, but that's probably because I have 12 houses. But I hate them. I mean, I hate them. They take my money. They pay almost no interest. They send me statements that are all screwed up, and I have to correct them. I basically hate them. I love my little tiny bank, but other banks I just hate. And because I travel a great deal, when I miss a payment on a credit card, they charge me wild amounts of interest, even though I'm a very good customer. I hate them. I think they're thieves.
Thieves, wow. You know, we look at this recovery process that we're in. I'm curious to get your thoughts on what stage we might be in and whether you think the banks are doing enough in terms of lending. They've come under criticism because they're not lending enough. Where do you come out?
They're not lending enough. They won't lend to the people who really need it. They will lend to the big corporations and to other big banks and, of course, to the U.S. government. They love to lend to them. But there's, in terms of a real human being and a family who need to buy a home, they're very tough on them. I just think that banks have gotten in a position where the government is just spoon-feeding them this incredibly cheap money. They lend it back to us consumers and us clients at a very, very high rate of money, especially on credit card debt, and they walk away with all this money, and it's being given to them by the taxpayers, and they caused the mess in the first place. I mean, the guys who caused the crash are the guys who are getting these huge profits off the taxpayers. That's not right.
Okay, as we end our game inside Ben Stein's mind, I got one final last word association for you, Ben, and it's Bueller.
Bueller. Well, he changed my life, and I love him a lot, and I miss John Hughes like crazy, and he was a wonderful, wonderful man, and it was the best day of my life, although my wife always says, what about the day we got married? It was the second best day of my life.
Careful.
But seriously, this tapering has got to start.